this is Sabina at Cross Keys Crafts. I need to make a Father's Day card, and I had a little think what I have done before. I think I might link to a few Father's Day cards below that I have created in the past. Yeah, so I had a thought what I could do, and I've seen quite a few Father's Day cards that are a full-size shirt. And that reminded me of something that I created about 30 years ago from a just from some gift wrap, I think. And what it is, it's a little origami shirt. And when I just researched it online, you can actually fold a banknote into this. This is where it originates from. But I think I used to make it a little bit bigger and put a banknote in between, because it does open up and you can actually slide it in, or even a gift card depending on what size you have. But I just want a few of these to decorate the front of my card. I have created a few. I'm showing you in a moment. Two of them I need to remedy a little bit. This one's one of the better ones. It's not quite finished yet though, I will embellish that. What I have used is this paper pack. Well, if I say paper, it's 160 GSM, which is almost a bit too thick. But I'll show you in a moment how to work with it. Ideally, you use some paper. This one I won in a giveaway a few months ago. I showed you that for other projects. So yeah, I thought it would be really nice to have the check and the stripes. Other sort of, gingham would probably work for men, or if you have got younger men, this is for my father-in-law, probably some of the more modern things would work. So yeah, but I thought this would be nice. And this is only one-sided paper, which is fine, because you only show one side really, except for where I need to remedy this. I have found instructions online, but I altered them a little bit in that respect, that it started off with folding the piece in the middle this way and this way. And then in the end, it ended up with having two folds on the front, basically going down this way and having it at the bottom, which I didn't like at all. So I figured out that it's the best to mark just these two lines. Let me just zoom in a little bit. I'm hoping I'm not going out off the edge there when I'm doing this. So this paper pack is 5 7/8 by 5 7/8. If you struggle like me sometimes with these measurements, you can always cut this down a little bit more. I just cut them in half so I can make two shirts from one sheet, but that's really up to you. What you want is a sort of a length, sort of, size of a banknote really, so twice as long as it is wide roughly. So I have just used this tool, I still haven't looked up what it's called, to find the middle here and then to find the middle there, but obviously you can work it out just from the measurements. And I've just put it down here with pencil on the back. So the first thing we need to do is fold. You can do that from the top or the bottom, doesn't matter. If I have got a non-directional cardstock, obviously if you have a directional cardstock, you need to watch which way you're doing it. So this is now the top of the paper. So I'm folding this now to the middle line, and because I've got this heavyweight cardstock or heavyweight paper, I need to use my bone folder. If you just use ordinary origami paper, you can probably just use your fingers. So, and I'm referring to my notes here on the side, so if I stop, oh yeah, then we need to fold both sides to the middle line and make sure you actually hit the middle line. This is getting bulky here now, so I need to burnish this properly there. Don't worry that this is overlapping a little bit. Can you see the little thing where it folds out? This is, I think, again due to my heavy cardstock. What is important is that you close the gap here, and I'll show you what happens if you don't. Then this will show in the end. So what I will do here, I'm just unfolding this again, and I will just use a bit of my selvage patina, which I think is a similar colour to what I have there. Just ink this up a little bit, and I will just fill this in a little bit so it's not that harsh white showing through. So if I close it here now, oops, just check, yeah, can you see? I don't know if the camera picks it up. That'll be okay now. I'm not doing this again. So I'm leaving my brush here because I need to remedy another one in a moment. So now that we've folded this, we turn it this way around, so you've got the fold on the top there, and now you need to fold this corner here to the outside at an angle. So I'm just putting my finger here and I'm just folding it out like that, and I sort of create a score line or a fold line to that corner here. I hope you can see what I'm doing. So the important thing is that you don't overstretch the corner here. You see, so I'm just folding it on the corner, and again I'm using my bone folder here, and I'm doing the same on the other side. I want these to be very similar, so put my finger there, press this down here to create this line. So if you overstretch the corner here, this happens. I overstretch it, and again the cardstock tore there really, and I can see the white, so I'm just hoping that with a bit of selvage patina I can just disguise that a little bit going in from the back. And I think once it's on the pattern background it doesn't matter anymore, so be careful there not to overstretch that. So now we turn this over this way, and we need to fold over a little bit at the bottom. I haven't really measured that. Let me just see. I'd say about 1/4 of an inch. Just check on these here. Maybe a bit more. I'm rubbish with inches, so whatever that is, next to 1/4 of an inch. Bear with me. Quarter, is it 3/8 maybe? I'm rubbish. I tell you in millimeters because this is how my brain functions. So about 7 millimeters, I reckon. I just eyeballed this, I never measured it. So just fold it over, and again you need to burnish this properly. So now let me just think. We need to turn it this way around, so you've got this on the back and at the top. And now just to fold this properly, because again, because of my paper it's so thick, I have marked the middle of these panels here. Again, I'm just eyeballing this, so you want half of that panel, half of that panel, and then I've marked 1.5 inches down, which is here, and the same on the other side. I try not to get too close to the edge there because that might show on the outside, so just there. So, and what I then did, I'm working here on a silicone mat, which gives a bit of a cushion for me to put these score lines in properly. I'm marking now, or putting in a score line now, from the middle here to the edge here, not where I've marked it, but to the very edge there, and that allows me to fold it. Again, if you've got thinner paper, you might not have to do that. You might be able to just fold it. But I found that easier with having so many layers now. So also try not to go over the middle, so too close to the middle, because what happens then, where's my first one? Oh, I've just unfolded it. No, it was this one here. The collar bits will overlap otherwise. Again, I'm not too fussed. I don't think the recipient will notice, but we as paper crafters obviously do. So you can now fold this over. Now this is very thick now, so again you have to burnish it properly. Don't worry if this is not the same height, that doesn't matter. It's the top bit that we need to concentrate on because that creates the collar. So, and all we need to do now, if I haven't done it wrong, no I haven't, is to fold this. So we've got this here, that there, and we fold this. I just sort of bend it a little bit around my fingers first, and then this allowed me to stick this in underneath the collar, lift the collar up a bit and a little, push it up a little bit until you reach the edges there, and when you've got that, press it down and burnish it once again, and then that's the shirt folded. Okay, so I will just get finish this one off, and yeah, then I'll show you the next step. To make sure that this doesn't come undone later, I'm going to put some glue on the inside onto the thickest bits, because if I put it in the middle it might not catch anyway. So I'm just using my quick grab glue here, my magic glue, just a little bit here and there, and then just tuck this under again. If you wanted to, you could put a little bit under the collar, but I'm a bit worried that I might mess that up, so just leave it. So I've already done the others, and I've just put them under this tile here just to give a bit of pressure whilst it's drying. So I thought it would be nice if I created a panel on the front of these with some buttons, as in maybe some Nuva drops. I haven't thought that through yet. And I thought, I've got plenty of the paper, I think it's 3 sheets each. I could cut another one, but I've also got the front page here, and that gives me actually enough cardstock there. It's obviously a paper, it's got a bit of a sheen to it, but I thought this would be really nice if it was offset a little bit and if it didn't look the same. And this one I quite like because the stripes are going the other way, so that I think would be really nice. So I'm just going to cut little strips with my guillotine, but I think the first thing I will do is I will back this paper, or at least these two pieces here, with some double-sided adhesive, because that doesn't create any bubbles. If I use wet glue, usually it gets a bit lumpy. And then I will put some cardstock underneath just to have a bit of a base and to make it less flimsy when I adhere it. So I have cut my strips. A little tip when you put double-sided adhesive on cardstock, before you put it in your guillotine to cut it down, make sure you don't have any excess on the side, because that will just stick on your blade and can, you know, really cause, you know, it malfunctioning. So I've done this now. I've just eyeballed the thickness of these, and I can now glue this down on my shirt. Trying not to put too much glue on the bottom. I've left it a bit longer because my plan is to fold it onto the back. So I'm placing it in the middle here, pressing this down. Just being a bit conscious of the excess there. I'll put some glue on that later. So, and for the buttons, I have got this die here, and it cuts circles in different sizes, and the smallest one I figured was a perfect size. So I cut 2 lots here, which gives me 22. I will just need, I think, about 5 for the shirt. And I'm using my 2-way zig glue to glue these on. Let me just zoom in a little bit more. So I think I'm just starting in the middle, and I'm just putting a dot there contemplating, because of this cardstock being a bit smooth, whether I actually want to use a different glue. So I'm just picking this up with my pickup tool and placing that down. Yeah, I might just use the magic glue after all. Just don't want anything that oozes out, but I think this one will be fine. So I can now put the glue down where I want the other two. Just one there, there. And then I can do them all in one go. Doesn't have to be perfect, remember, it's a homemade card. It's a thought that counts. See, my button's already a bit wonky. So I'm just pressing these down again. Leave this to dry, and I will also cut this down here a little bit. Oh, I hope I didn't go off camera there. And I will bend this round the back and just glue it onto the back. I think this will give the neatest finish. And then I'll just show you how we finish all the buttons off, but I will leave this to dry for a moment. To finish off the buttons, all I have done on these is I've taken a fine liner. This is really thin, and I just put 2 dots on every circle. Really just dabbed it on, and I think that finishes it up really nicely. So all that's left for me to do now is to create the card base. I wanted these to be on a square card. I have got another piece of cardstock here from the paper pack, which is just some clouds. I thought as a background that would work okay, because it's not too much in the face. I have noticed, by the way, that all the pieces of paper, I don't know whether it's supposed to be a grungy look, but they've all got this white stain here and the grey stain. Really weird. I made sure that when I folded these, you can see the white stain there, that this would be on the back. But yeah, maybe it's a grungy look to these. So my idea is to place them down somewhere like this, and I've only got one stamp for Happy Father's Day, but I keep forgetting sometimes. I've got these. This is the We Are Memory Keepers word punch, and I think I will just create the sentiment from that, because I can make a longer one here and just place it in the middle. I will just do this off camera. I think I might take a video one day where I'm going to link how I use these, or if I am not going to do that soon, I will link to a video below where I learned how to use these, because you can play a little bit with the gaps between the letters. So I shall quickly do this off camera, and then I'll just show you the finished card. I just thought I might show you this after all, although I'm conscious that my light is casting a shadow here on the letters. So I would like to stamp Happy Father's Day so that the letters are as close together as they possibly can, because I don't want to go wider than this, because otherwise it won't fit on the card. So what you need to do for that is you only put in every other letter. So for happy, I'm putting in H, I'm leaving out the A, there's the P, I'm leaving out the next P, and then I need to put in the Y. See, I've already done that wrong. Let me take these out. Is that right? Yeah, HP. So, when I first started this, I actually wrote myself a little note. So now I don't want the F so close, because obviously it's a separate word, so I can place that in. I'm counting the A, T, I'm leaving out the H, I need the E, leaving out the R, and then I want to put in an apostrophe. I don't have an apostrophe, I don't even know whether you can buy that. So I'm accounting for that, because I want a little gap, I think. Or do I just put that on there? I might even just add one with a pen. So I think I'll risk putting in my S. Then I need a little gap. Let me just think that. I got a gap here? Happy? Oh yes, I'm creating a gap already because I'm not placing a letter in between. So Father's Day, so the D would be here. Is that correct? Nope. I need to place the D in. It's a bit complicated because I'm writing 3 words. So I'm leaving out the A, and then I would need the Y there again, but I've got this here. So I need to die cut this first, and then I can come in and just do the Y there. I hope I'm doing it correctly. If not, it's just a piece of paper. You can align it again. So you need to put the paper in, and it slides in these dies, or whatever you want to call them, or the punches, that's what they are. And the paper lines here on the side there. So you need to make sure you've properly pushed it in, and then you just press this whole thing down. Oops, sorry about all the wobbling and the noises on my desk. And when you pull it out, it's done this here. So before I take all these out, I need to remember to put the Y there, and I'm going to take all the others away. So, and you can see a mistake I've made. It's not long enough, that piece of paper. Well, just about. Ooh, very close. So what I need to do now is now mark this here with a little pen. I need to do all the in-between letters. So I have this for reference. So I'm starting with the A in the spot that I've marked here. You've got these little notches here. So I'm placing this here. So happy, where's my P? Here I would need another A, which I obviously haven't got, so I need to leave that out. So, and in order to find the right place for the H that's coming up here, I mean, I can use this as a reference, but you could also just pop in some random letters here, which gives you the right spacing, and then you can take these out again before you stamp it. Fathers, and I would need the A again there. So I think I've got everything there, so I can push this in again, align it there, press it down. Yeah, so and now I only need the A there, so leaving that there, take all the others out. If you only got one letter, it's easier to stamp, and then I need the A here. So making sure it's in the right space, and press it down, and there we go. Happy Father's Day. As I said, I will have to probably just with a pen, or if depending on what colour cardstock I put in the background, I can just cut a little apostrophe out, because that would really bug me. Yeah, so make sure you've got your cardstock is big enough, but I will just cut this down here accordingly and at the bottom. And yeah, I will definitely put some cardstock on the back to just have a nice colour there, probably this lightish blue. And as I said, I will then now stick it all down and show you the finished card. Oh, and one thing I forgot, obviously you can use all these letters if you wanted to and glue them down. Mine usually go in the bin. I thought I might just as well show you this. So what I do here now is I put glue dots here just with my zig glue on the back. Just missed one spot here. Make sure I go into all these areas here that might come off, and then I just put my coloured cardstock. I've cut this a bit slimmer than this one is, and I'm just placing this on there. Ideally I would have moved it over a little bit so it doesn't show in the on the R, but it might not, might be okay. I've cut this up on a little bit longer, so yeah, you can't see that, so I can cut this off there. There we go, and then that's back. Oh yeah, it does show the R. Never mind, I can see it. Nobody else might be able to. So, and as I said before, I would just cut a little apostrophe for the cut an apostrophe from the cardstock and stick that down. So my card is finished. I'm really pleased with this. It was a labour of love, and it's got a few hiccups there, but I think the overall result is really nice. I've cut myself a piece of cardstock that was 5 7/8 by whatever the width of an A4 card is. I can't remember. I halved it, so it's 5 7/8 by 5 7/8. And yeah, I chose the grey cardstock. I thought this would go nicely with the stripes here, and it would give a different colour to the card, overall a different look. So, and I was faffing around with cutting an apostrophe just from a little strip, and then I remembered I've got this little die, and it comes with some sprinkle dies there. And yeah, so I just cut those, just used one of them, and I think that looks okay now. And yeah, I'm really pleased with this. It's got quite a bit of bulk to it. Obviously, if you use thinner cardstock or paper, you won't have that much bulk. But yeah, I think this is really nice and something I haven't done yet for Father's Day. I'll have to think of something different for next year. Yeah, and if you like this card too, you might want to give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of what I'm creating, you might want to subscribe to my channel. I'd be very happy about that. And I'll see you soon with another video.